Welcome to Happily Ever Aftermath.
The podcast where we discuss relationships in movies and our relationships with them.
I'm Polina Grunbaum.
And I'm Diana Rojek-Skonard. This is Diana.
Hello, it's Polina.
I think it's my responsibility to start the episode since I'm responsible for this monstrosity of an episode. Pun intended. So before we get started, though, so we have finished up 2 pods a day, the October campaign, and we want to thank them so much for including them in our campaign. And if you're just listening to us for the first time because of it, thank you and welcome.
Welcome.
Hello. We're going to be talking about Teen Wolf 2 today, but another little piece of business that I think is kind of important. So some little background on this. I decided to start a poll because I was flipping through the Twitter feed and Book versus Movie came up and it was about the Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I do like that old Hunger Games there. So the only thing available on Amazon Prime at the time was Mockingjay Part 2. So I flipped that on there and I'm like, yep, action. Oh, this is the part where PETA flips out. That's really nice. Okay. And there's this one scene that I really, really love where he's having one of his fits of psychosis, I suppose, because he got tortured. Mm-hmm. And, Katniss decides to, kiss him to bring him back to reality. And just this little thing, stay with me. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. And then it just became this whole thing of like, I love PETA. I love that so much. And I was talking to my sister and my niece about it. And then I'm just like, oh, wow. I'm really thinking about it. Are you Team PETA, Team Gale? And immediately my 21-year-old niece jumps in, oh, a stupid love triangle. And I'm like, huh? Okay. And I look at my sister, Team Gale. I'm like, what's happening right now? Who are these people? I don't understand. So I flexed my confirmation bias and saw, no, it's absolutely Team PETA. I've read these articles that when I type in Team PETA, people are saying exactly what I want to hear. So I decided to take it to Twitter. And thank you so much to everyone who decided to chime in on that. Polina has an interesting thing. When I asked her this question, you immediately chimed in with Team Gale. And I went, what?
I know, you got really mad at me.
I did get really mad at you, and then I asked you to justify yourself. And then that was a fun conversation because it became, hang on, I need to read the books again.
Yeah, so I only saw the first movie. I never saw the second or the third.
Or the
I
fourth.
wanted to... What?
No, the fourth. There's 4.
What? Yeah, however many there are. I didn't see any of them. But when I saw the first one, I loved it. And...
it's okay. I like the books.
That's the thing. So then I went to the books because I wanted to find out what happened. And I love the books. And at the time, I went Team Gale just because he's a hunter. And I didn't like the actor who played PETA. But since I think I've actually confused the two, which happens to me all the time, sadly. And B, I finally did reread I finally reread only the first one. I started the second one. And... I guess I hadn't ever read it. I just saw the movie. But anyway.
You never read it?
I never read the first one because I saw the movie and I just wanted to know what happened. So it was just an efficiency thing.
Okay.
Just needed to know.
Okay.
Needed to know. Love Jennifer Lawrence. I am totally team stupid love triangle.
Well,
I think I'm changing it now. Because it's what makes, it makes the whole thing in the Hunger Games is so brutal and horrible, and how this kind of oppression affects it's a sort of how it affects every person in every aspect of their lives, including, who they love, and the sort of the pull of fascism and having to make these decisions makes it really, really interesting.
Why are you making the Hunger Games so serious?
Because it's really serious. It's about a freaking Hunger Games.
So PETA.
Anyway, but just, this whole thing of him, being in love with her the whole time. And yet, but then she's got this pull of this person at home. And she's in this intense situation, and of course they're going to be close. That is just a life. When you're in a life and death situation, everything's magnified. Of course they're going to be super close.
That's every action romance movie, period. So duh.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, I think it just makes it interesting.
You're using that as an excuse of, well, of course people want her to be with him because they had a really intense thing. But you just no love triangle, stupid.
No, I love the triangle. I love the love triangle. I said I'm team stupid love triangle. I love the stupid love triangle.
No. Team Stupid Love Triangle it's stupid that they put a love triangle in this serious thing.
Oh, I did not understand that. I thought you were just making a joke like...
No.
Then why would they be if they I don't understand.
You don't understand the poll. All right, now.
I don't understand the poll. I'm going to stop talking about this.
This is to our wonderful listeners. This is why I run the Twitter feed.
Yes.
And this is why. So, okay. You love the love triangle. Who did you want to win in the affections of Katniss?
I think my problem... I thought that was... You haven't decided who you want to win. I don't know. I don't care.
Oh, you don't care at all.
I don't know if I... Well, I just
you
know
love
that I
the
don't
love
care.
triangle, but you don't...
I'm sort of into the... I guess I'm more into the journey, not the destination.
Okay.
The journey of how they interact, not like who she ends up with.
Interesting. Okay, well...
But now that I think about it,
Uh-huh.
I think I'm Team Gale.
Well, good.
This is why I don't do these polls, because I would just do them 3 times with different people.
Okay, so good
what
news,
did our
listeners.
dear listeners, who obviously have a lot more...
Well, out of respect for Polina wanting to reread the books and do some analysis on who she wanted to choose to ultimately go like, oh, I didn't understand the question. The response was 39%, and the winner, Team Stupid Love Triangle.
Only by 2 percentage points,
Okay,
because...
I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry.
See, you can read my you can read the results. Team PETA 37%, Team Gale 24%. So the people have spoken.
Okay.
And I'm not listening to the people. Team PETA.
You're still Team PETA.
Well, you think the poll was going to change my mind?
No, I didn't.
Good, because it didn't.
It didn't.
All right. So
All right.
that was a fun aside,
Yeah.
because I think, honestly, we needed some filler because we're about to talk about the movie Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah. Should we have done a poll on Teen Wolf 2?
Why would we make a poll on Teen Wolf 2?
I don't know.
Have you seen Teen Wolf 2?
Yes.
The TV series, question mark?
Why have you seen the movie Teen Wolf 2?
What the hell are you talking about, question mark?
Why would you admit to have seen the movie
How do I
Teen Wolf 2?
unsubscribe, question mark? Teen Wolf
Who are
2.
these people? Why are they talking about Teen Wolf 2?
1987's Teen Wolf 2. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, it is the sequel to the Michael J. Fox very big hit, Teen Wolf. And if you've seen Teen Wolf, you've seen Teen Wolf 2. Replace Michael J. Fox with Justin, oh my God, I was thinking of his sister, Justine. Jason Bateman. Oh my God.
With Justine Bateman dressed as a man,
No.
who then becomes a wolf.
No, that's not, no, that's...
That would be awesome. That would be a
that's,
great movie. I want that to be
I want to say her name is Joyce Geyser in that movie, just one of the guys. How about, do you not know that movie?
I do not.
Oh, that's an 80s classic where just one of the guys.
You're surprised I don't know of a movie that everyone else has
I thought
seen.
you were making reference to that because just one of the guys, she is getting turned down for all of these reporter, awards because she's female and she happens to also be attractive, so they can't take her seriously. So she chops her hair off. She enrolls in the school down, across town, and she goes for some positions there, but she's a guy. And how funny would that be if she also discovered that she was a teen wolf at the same time?
That sounds great. Now I want to see this movie
just one
and
of the
then
wolves?
remake it with just one of the wolves.
Just one of the pack. How do you chop your hair though? She chopped off all her hairs for it to all grow back immediately.
and then go back.
Oh wow! And there was also talk of a third Teen Wolf starring Alyssa Milano, and that would have been interesting. But this unfortunately,
so Alyssa Milano would turn into a wolf.
Well, she would have been Teen Wolf 3.
She would have been the wolf,
or would it
the
be
Teen Wolf,
or would it be Teen Wolf She?
No, is it? Ooh,
Yeah,
Shri. Nah, that didn't work.
No, that didn't work.
That didn't work. Sorry, guys.
There's a
I have a
reason-
cold, so if I seem a little strange, I'm like I feel completely out of it.
Stranger.
So
just basically normal and nasal.
Yeah, normal nasal.
Had
and
you been
really out of it?
Had you been healthy, would you have understand the poll question?
Probably, but maybe not.
That's
I was also had a really rough week at work.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. I'm occasionally going to call Todd Scott because this is the same movie. And the only reason I know that is because I watched them both. Polina
Did you really?
Well, okay. So I watched this movie and then we went to Podfest, which was amazing. And then we had to take a big break and then we decided to record after Podfest. And
Podfest was incredible.
it was really good. I watched it and then I decided to rewatch it. And then when I finished watching it, I'm like, how much does this I wonder if people just decided there was no reason to watch this because it's just Teen Wolf is so much better. So I decided to watch Teen Wolf.
and?
Right, I watched them back to back last night, and I'm really tired right now.
I don't blame you. I was debating. That was actually my original plan for my Friday night. Sad but true.
To watch Teen Wolf and then Teen Wolf 2?
Yeah, to finish watching Teen Wolf 2 and then watch Teen Wolf. But then I got sick. I also actually did have other plans. And then I realized it's Friday and I should go see some music.
I don't.
But I did neither.
I don't know why I
was
didn't.
too sick.
Well, I told you didn't have to watch Teen Wolf.
You did. You did. You promised me this.
Well, no, the promise remains, and it's very, very real.
But actually, I have a ton of questions.
Of course you do, but give me 1 second. For those of you, I know I said Teen Wolf 2 is the same movie as Teen Wolf 1. It just replaced, Jason Bateman with Michael, from Michael J. Fox to Jason Bateman.
And they go to college. Right?
Go from basketball to boxing and go from high school to college. Yeah. And you pretty much hit the exact same beats. And that's what most sequels are. Yeah. Ryan and I,
they go to college.
A long time ago.
They graduate.
He had never seen Major League. And so not only did I sit him down to watch this was years ago, we're watching Major League and we might as well watch Major League 2. So we did that. We marathoned 1 and 2 after the other. And I'm like, there was no reason to do that because they're not the same movie, but they hit the sequel beats. So it's like, I'm like, oh, they're down, they're up. Yay, underdogs. Hooray, the end. I'm like, well, it was funnier the first time, so what's the damn point?
I hate sequels. Yeah, the way that you feel about musicals is the way I feel about sequels. Now, there are obvious exceptions. There are movies that are made in sequence, but movies like this kind of sequel where it's like you have a hit, because whenever I see the sequel, I feel like a chump.
Is there a sequel that you have enjoyed? Have you seen either Godfathers?
Okay, those are kind of exceptions, I guess. Yes. I have enjoyed multiple Godfathers. I've enjoyed.
Did you like
multiple James
Bond? I don't.
No.
James Bond's is.
That's totally. That's
different.
like
That's different. Terminator 2.
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
See that? No. Didn't see
any
that.
of the.
Nope.
Usually the good ones.
Well, I saw all of the sunsets, like before sunset, after sunset.
You don't see very many romantic sequels.
No, because it's like going to be the...
Did you see Bridget Jones's Baby?
No.
Oh, okay. Because don't see the second Bridget Jones. It's terrible.
Oh, I've heard that. I think I saw Sex and the City and Sex and the City too. Why? But then I don't know. I think I was ill. Something must have happened. It just... if it's not a sequel, because it's like all the charm of the first one that you feel like it's a surprise gets basically reduced, and you just feel like a chump for finding those things charming.
I did feel that way when I saw the sequel to Birdemic. No, Birdemic. My exact review of the sequel to Birdemic was it lacked all of the charm of the first one. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I legitimately believe that it lacked all of the charm of the first
They
Birdemic.
often do, because in some ways the charm is in discovery. This is my whole thing with these reductions. The charm is the discovery. They don't always know the thing that makes it the most charming.
Well,
and so by the second one, basically, it feels warmed over, because it's like they've taken all the kind of subtlety that created the charm and basically have sucked it out of its context of charm and just made it just the kind of high notes. It's almost like a bad perfume. It's like it only has a few things that hit you over the head and not a complete mix.
I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again. Sequels age the originals faster than if a sequel was never made, because the sequel has to be louder, faster, more intense.
That's a good point.
And I use the example of Austin Powers, where I've seen the other two and I really liked the third one, but if I were to pay close attention, the first one is so damn slow. The things that make me laugh, I'm like, this is moving really slowly, because the characters have evolved and have grown, and I've seen them do the crazy thing. So watching them do the regular thing that was kind of funny the first time I saw it, not so good.
Oh, that's a good point. I never think of how it like goes back to the original.
Right.
I just think it makes me. I think I get internal. I think it makes me. Anyway, okay.
So Teen Wolf 2. Okay, so I watched this movie. What a surprise! It was in cable, on cable.
That's not surprising because you would have been like very small when this came out.
Well, hey, if my aunt and uncle can take me to see Dances with Wolves when I was like 5, why wouldn't I have seen Teen Wolf 2 in the theater? It's a PG movie. Why wouldn't I?
That's true. You could have.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know if it would have caught your imagination in quite the same way.
If by imagination you mean my attention,
yes,
because shiny movie object thingies. So yeah. Okay. So Teen Wolf 2, 1987, rated PG. I remember I recorded this off of Comedy Central. Mm-hmm. And I would watch it on a loop, and okay, so beats. Todd, he gets a sports scholarship for boxing, and his uncle, who is Michael J. Fox's father from the first one, he drives him off. I know you're having such a hard time, and he turns into a wolf to prove that I'm not ashamed of who I am. Uncle Howard, can you not do that, please? He gets dropped off. We run into the school bully, which apparently in college there's still school bullies.
Also, weirdly, doesn't the school bully go to another
college
school?
Like the cadet academy across the school. Oh my God, it's like across. I love that it's high school, but it's college.
In college.
And the angry, I'm going to destroy you vice principal is now the angry, I'm going to destroy you dean of men.
Dean of men. Dean of men?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that detail.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was just the dean.
No, dean of men. They had that whole thing there.
God.
And the coach who was the basketball coach in the first one is now the boxing coach for this one. And
I have so many questions.
Oh, I could keep going in details about because I saw it twice.
Yeah.
Just this, these last few times. It just, okay, so he's there. He doesn't understand why he got this. Okay, I went to college. Yeah. I'm given a full ride.
Should we just give the full thing?
I'm given a full ride to college, and I'm not questioning why. I'm given a full boxing scholarship.
He doesn't even know. Okay, so
he gets box.
He doesn't get. I'm sorry. We're gonna really quickly.
There is no quickly. No, this is stupid.
No, this is so okay. Thank you, because I want to be. The point of the podcast is not to attack these movies, because that would have been a different podcast. That was the podcast we originally planned to do, and that got boring.
No, you're attacking my love of this movie, which is totally justified.
Oh no, I'm not attacking your love.
Do it.
I'm attacking the logic.
There is no logic. Okay. It's Teen Wolf 2.
What I want to understand, that confused me.
What's that?
Is this one of those situations where you're allowed to attack this movie and I'm not?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. The rules have been, all right.
And there is a love triangle in this movie, so
don't get
confused, Polina.
No, I'm not. I now that I understand the concept of stupid love triangles, I'm going to add this into that.
All right. Okay. Super, super quick version. He goes. He wants to study science. There's a girl there who also studies science. She is the long curly haired nerd. Hint.
You know this because she wears glasses.
Hint. No. The long curly haired nerd who sees him for who he truly is, watches him become an asshole, calls him out on being an asshole, and then when the other girls decide to give his attention, she's still calling him an asshole. Let's get to the crux of this.
Yes.
Todd Howard is an asshole. He's a wolf. He's an asshole. He is Todd Howard. He's an asshole. But you know what? Older teenage guys / guys in their 20s, they're assholes.
Yeah, they can be. Especially, if they, with all that crazy wolf testosterone running through their bodies or whatever it is wolves have.
I give him a pass.
Really?
Because as
Wait, you give him a pass, but you don't give Jim Halpern a pass?
Okay, well, that was an interesting long ago callback. But, no, there is no. What part of problematic fave do you understand?
Oh, yeah,
Still
okay.
fave, still
fave.
love.
Okay.
He can cut his tie anytime he wants to in my book.
Oh, good, I love that scene.
Okay, so here was the okay. Considering you can't get stupid love triangle, I'm gonna give you curly.
No, I can't. I can get it. Yeah, she's the female podiatrist. I understand how this works.
Curly, long-haired nerd girl wearing glasses, Polina.
I know. I understand. So I don't know if any of you know this, but Diana has curly hair, long curly hair, and she wears glasses.
Nerd.
Okay. All right. It's all making sense to me now.
Well, it's making a little bit more sense.
This whole movie is making a lot more sense to me now.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, okay, so I had the long-term crush. And in Teen Wolf, the original, it made...
Jason Bateman, I have to say. I share.
Oh, no, I was talking about in my regular lifetime.
Oh, okay.
The guy you see in front of you who, is not paying attention to you.
Yes, I know
But this was my introduction to establishing the Jason Bateman crush, which was so funny because I remember back in like the mid to late 90s, he would show up in various like NBC sitcoms as the guest star. And I'm like, yes, welcome back, Jason Bateman. And he's gone again. Oh, that makes me sad.
I know.
That's why I was so happy when he got Arrested Development.
I know, me too.
And
I
I'm just
felt
like,
the same way.
Good. And then way to keep it going this time around. Way to go.
Go, Jason Bateman.
And this is his first leading role in a movie. I think this is his movie debut.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I was actually wondering
before.
that.
No, there was like actual young Jason Bateman on like...
he was on like Silver Spoons or something.
Silver Spoons and Little House on the Prairie. Yeah.
That's where mine started. I was a Little House on the Prairie freak. Because I wasn't a nerd at all. Not nerdy at all.
Yeah, my mom watched The Waltons, so... and also Little House on the Prairie.
Well,
Yeah, so... He's just so sweet.
I didn't just watch it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
He's really sweet when he's actually paying attention to... Oh my God, I already forgot her name. What? She's so... Nikki.
Yes.
Nikki. Nikki is her name.
Nikki.
And I feel so bad because...
we all totally forget her name.
Well, I could have told you your name was S.D. Chandler in real life because I tend to remember that better. So again, S.D. Chandler, Nikki, she was the boof of the... Yeah, that was her nickname, the first Teen Wolf, Boof. And so, they had to like really quickly shoehorn this relationship to show.
The boof. We might have to adopt that. The boof. The nerd. The kind of nerdy one who like really sees you.
I don't know. That was her nickname.
No, I know that, but maybe that should be our nickname for the nerdy. No, it's okay.
No, don't create things and then we'll forget.
We'll forget?
Don't create things
that I'll forget.
Don't create things and then confuse people, and then I have to go back to our wiki page that I have to manage because Paulina didn't.
Yeah, okay. Good point.
Thanks. So, John Astin, not to be confused with Sean Astin from the Lord of the Rings people. Gomez Adams, the original Gomez Adams, is the evil dean, and he's just, I truly appreciate the way he decided to run with, I am the dean. I hold your scholarship. I will call every dean and you will never go to college. I'm like, how is this possible? Oh, he's a dumb kid who'll believe anything he says.
No, and he has got this abusive dog, and he's a friggin'... And I have to say, John Astin is incredible in this. Because there are parts of it I saw twice. I couldn't quite get through all of it twice, but I was so in love because he comes in and he is a figure of ridiculousness, but he is genuinely at once terrifying, repulsive, swarmy. Of course it doesn't make sense, but John Astin actually makes it work somehow.
Well,
because he can't do any of these things. And the other thing is, if he really wants a decent boxing team, then... Can I ask, why not hire an actual decent boxing coach? The boxing coach does nothing, quite literally nothing. Like, people will, it makes no sense. People will just, they'll be boxing, and he's reading a copy of Boy's Life.
That was
not even a good magazine.
That was meant to be the shtick of the character. Well, gee, Paulina, had you seen the first one, you would have.
That's what I was going to ask. What is in this world that I'm missing? Because there's
no, it's not worth it, honestly. Because I watched it. I'm just like, I see what they were trying to do there, but I guess again, I didn't know it myself. And as I was trying to put it all together and watching the first one, I'm like, I see what they were trying to do there. But I think I would have been more irritated had I known that had happened because they didn't do it well.
No.
The coach in the first one, it's like, Michael J. Fox's character, coach, he said I can come to you if I had a problem. Anytime, except, I'm kind of busy now. I'm kind of strapped for cash right now. So maybe if you can come back to me a little bit later. See,
his whole thing was that he couldn't coach his way out of a paper bag, or didn't really want to.
Well, I don't even know if that was it. The whole point is that they made that character choice here. And then if you knew that they were trying to recreate something, I didn't know they were trying to recreate something. So I just thought he was funny in general because he was just bad at his job.
And it's kind of that 80s thing of in these kind of comedies of the kind of useless adult, the like buffoon adult, like the adults in the world can't can't function.
Can I get another example?
Well, like you've got the adults in you got the adults in. So let's talk about movies we've seen. So Some Kind of Wonderful. All the adults are kind of people that you ignore.
I don't know if they were useless.
They weren't as useless, I feel like, in John Hughes' universe. But we've got the adults in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. All the adults are kind of useless.
I would say that the principal was kind of bumbling, but the parents weren't really useless so much as that they were useless in the plot. But they weren't like, I don't think they were just kind of faking their way through their jobs.
No,
this is the way I was viewing the coach. She's like, do you know why are you why are you here? He's like,
the Animal House movies. All the adults kind of seem a little like they're extraneous.
All I can think of is Donald Sutherland, and I don't want to think about Donald Sutherland's ass.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll put that. It's okay. We're walking back. Let's go back. Let's go back to
President
Jason
Snow.
Bateman. Jason Bateman. Just Jason Bateman.
I don't want to think about his ass either.
Really?
Well, not in this movie.
Yeah.
No. See,
that was pretty much the only thing keeping me going.
What, Jason Bateman's ass?
Anything really. Jason Bateman, period.
Okay. Well, see, that's just it, though. How dare you make it something that it's not, Paulina? First of all, this is a sweet story of a guy who became an asshole because he got too much taste of too much of cars, and that's another thing about the dean. No, that's another thing about the dean. By the way, why is he pimping out these girls?
The teen is pimping out the girls in the first scene when they all go to a scholarship dance.
Yeah. What the hell is that, by the way?
He pimps out the girls who organize this whole rather lovely luncheon.
And why are the same 6 people at everything on campus?
Every single thing on campus. This is the other thing that totally confuses me.
Styles and Chubby, the characters. From the first one.
Boxing is presented as boxing is the way to bring fame and fortune to Hamilton College, which is the college of the. But there's only, until the last scene, there's only about 20 to 30 people in the arena at all.
Where did the cheerleaders come from?
The cheerleaders come in the end, weren't there in the beginning. It's very confusing.
And they had cheers ready for boxing related.
They did. Stuff. They weren't just random. They weren't go Hamilton.
No, they floated like a butterfly and sting like a bee. You jab it to the left, jab it to the. Sorry,
oh my God, you're good.
I could have just made that up right now, and you would have believed me.
No, I do remember that. I did only see it 48 hours ago. Granted, there was some cold medicine involved, but it wasn't that bad.
So you had Styles, who was, the best friend of Scott, and he decided, he's got a cousin who's coming to college with me. Awesome, I'm going to exploit him now.
Okay, so Styles. Yep. So are we to believe this happens right after the first Teen Wolf movie, which I also didn't see?
I believe maybe 2 years afterwards.
So you'd never seen the first Teen Wolf movie?
I had recently. A long time ago. And then I watched it again last night.
Okay.
So, no, I knew the beats of Teen Wolf.
Okay. So here's the other question I have about the world of the movie. Are they pro? I don't really understand the level of acceptability of these werewolves. So number one, this is also a world where the boxing does not have weight classes. No. Not that I know a ton about boxing.
Oh, no, they did. They just said flat, you think they were legitimately trying to maintain the respectability and
sportsmanship of boxing?
They were throwing each other around.
Yeah, it didn't look. Yeah.
No, okay. Second, had you been paying attention, Polina?
I was paying
much. Damn it! I have to stop saying.
They did say the water weight thing. I get it, but still, you would think that they would weigh people, and water weight, by the way, would still count.
It was speaking to the humor and to the incompetence of the coach. Because he was just throwing in people saying, you go. He's like, Coach, this isn't even my weight class. I don't care. And he throws him in there. So that was Chubb's thing. And
but you would think there was
in the montage, Paulina, in the winning montage in the boxing ring, there was this thing where Chubby was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And the coach put his arm down and said no. And he points up to Todd and he goes, okay. And he goes again. The whole point being only Todd is doing it because Todd is the one who's winning. Therefore, we he's doing all of it. So he's disregarding weight classes. He's disregarding everything because that's the only one who will win.
But
not a competent coach, Polina.
No, that I get. That I got. But
there are weight classes.
There are weight classes. I mean, not that I know a ton about boxing, but the stuff I do know. But also, isn't there some sort of law against having a werewolf in the ring?
Why would there be a law, Polina? Haven't you seen Air Bud? There's nothing in the rules that say the wolf can't box.
If we're living in a world where there are werewolves and everyone has accepted that there's werewolves, this is a thing?
No, Polina, they haven't accepted that. Didn't you hear the guy talking about how every dog has his day and that's just a wolf and he's disgusting?
But they still have accepted the fact that human beings can turn into wolves.
I don't understand how, when that happened, the match continued, but...
Yes, exactly. So he's in the match. He's down for the count.
This is such a bad group mentality thing. It's just like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God, he's a really good boxer. Who cares? He's on our team. Yay!
Yeah.
Let the dog play.
Yeah, and also,
thing,
like, everything...
Yeah.
Also didn't see it.
Well, she does keep calling him a dog.
She keeps calling him a dog,
I'm
which
sorry.
you would think at the very least, as someone who wants to be a veterinarian, he would be like, I'm not a dog, I'm a wolf.
And also something that's... Well, see, that's the attractive blonde. She can say whatever she wants because she's the attractive blonde. You'll notice then when Nikki chimes in, he's like, why do you want to hang out with me? I'm a dog. Mm-hmm. Quote, biologically speaking, it's absolutely fascinating what's happening to you. If you think I'm going to feel sorry for you, you can forget it.
Yeah.
Nikki wins.
Oh, Nikki totally wins.
Nikki wins.
Nikki wins in everything. She's like the only sane, interesting person.
Not true. That's not true. There's also the Professor Briggs.
Oh, I love
the
Professor Briggs.
Professor.
Oh, you're right. Actually, I'm Team Briggs.
Well, see... Oh, it is Brooks. But what's even funnier is that he gets registered for all of these, like...
fluffy classes.
Fluffy classes in order to like meet chicks because that's what Styles thinks that he should be doing. But I think it's so funny. He's just like, oh yeah, so I need my science classes. Can I be in your class? They never say anything about... I mean, it's clearly a biology class because of the, frog dissection and all this other stuff. But science. I want to take science. Yeah. I love science. I'm like... So... Yeah.
What kind of science? It's just very strange. And then
he's got to be a freshman. Yeah. I want to be a veterinarian. Yeah, now you will. Give it 3 weeks. You're going to be a comparative literature kid.
Yeah. And another thing is he keeps talking about his like senior high school science project.
Tri-Valley.
It's Tri-Valley. And
oh my God. I wonder if that's the same Tri-Valley from the Karate Kid. No, that's at the All Valley. Never mind. All Valley Karate Tournament. Sorry. 80s movies references. It's all about the valley.
It's all about valleys. It's all about tries.
Yep.
Can't remember. Anyway,
there's too much to scratch the head.
You're right. Okay, so my other question is, so he does his science fair about crustaceans, but he wants to be, and he keeps mentioning this, that he wanted, and it was having to do with crustaceans, but he wants to be a veterinarian. I'm like, is he going to be a crab veterinarian? Like,
you can have like a focus on certain things. You can still be a veterinarian and still like, marine life.
It's true, but
it's also a project.
It's a yeah, I know that, but it's not consistent.
Of Todd Howard.
Okay,
you're questioning the consistencies of Teen Wolf 2?
You're questioning you made me watch this film. You know what was going to happen. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that you're questioning that and not questioning what the hell was wrong with my psyche at the time that I watched this on.
We're getting to that. Okay, we're covering the facts.
No, bring it on.
We're covering the facts. One more question. He was a creep because at the very beginning of the movie, when he doesn't even realize he was a wolf, he tries to he squeezes the ass of the like the attractive blonde.
So they're at this alumni event, which is hopefully,
and it's like his first day.
No. So at this donor event, which by the way, there's no way in hell that they are catering to a woman who donated a physics wing and at a stadium of some kind at this particular donor event with the folding chairs. They would be at some really nice hotel thing. So the blonde, the stand-in for the hot girl that he will have a crush on, from the first movie, she is being forced to dance with him. And of course, the tension for him is high. Therefore, he's slowly turning into the wolf and he can't handle it. And at the time, he starts to, this is actually what pissed me off as well, is because he was talking to Nikki. She was also at the event. She was feeling self-conscious because she's in a very conservative kind of 1980s, like designing women pantsuit looking dress thing. Yeah. And you got hot chick signing people.
Drop waists did no one any favors.
I don't know what that means.
That's what she was wearing.
I don't follow the fashion world, Polina.
Don't really. Don't either. But I survived the 80s, so I know what a drop waist is.
Okay.
Because the 80s, that was a big thing.
All I know is shoulder pads.
Yeah, there was that too.
Okay.
She was wearing both.
And then sure enough, the blonde, the hot blonde is wearing something, you know, that's making Nikki feel self-conscious. But, you know, the dean, dance with him. And he's like, he was about to dance with her, but he's like, what can I do? I'm being forced to dance with a hot chick. And he's enjoying it. And he is groping her. And it's like, wait, I'm the wolf. That's what's happening. Like, no, let's be honest. You were staring at her chest before this started to happen.
Well, that was the thing is like he did it when he met her. He acted like an idiot.
Yeah.
When she checked him into this event and gave him a
name tag.
And he totally is like all like, hi.
I'm fine with guys being unsuave in the presence of an attractive woman, but there's a difference between being unsuave and
being creepy.
Yes,
Creepy.
a little bit creepy.
Jason.
And
You would not do this now. I know you would.
You would not do that to Nikki.
No.
Yes, because she wouldn't put up with that shit.
No.
Oops.
No,
sorry.
and plus, drop waists would be hard to find. The drop waists were like when
I don't care.
They did that straight thing and then it goes out.
So an A-line?
No. It's like it was like a straight cut, and then the dress would start like somewhere mid hip, and then there would be like a skirt that would come out. So
hello, elastic waistbands. I love you.
Yeah.
All right. So
They were
all
sort
right.
of-
For the record. He decides that he doesn't want to be the wolf anymore. The wolf makes him a jerk. And no, the wolf doesn't make me a jerk. I'm a jerk and I'm sorry. He finally realizes that trying to get a pass through all these classes is not the way to go through life. He's alienating all the good people in his life. And then finally the attractive people turn against him too, because let's be honest, he's a dog. He's nothing really. He goes back to say, like, you know, the people who would hang out with him, now that the popular people aren't hanging out with him, they decided to turn his back against him. Uncle Howard, I'm sad, you know. Well, there's still time to apologize, and he does, and he gets back on, you know, people forgive him, and that's
And
number
most
one.
importantly, Nikki forgives him.
That's a beautiful thing right there, because I really like that he did apologize.
Yeah,
and
genuinely.
He genuinely apologizes. He genuinely realizes that it's terrible, you know, what he was doing, the way he was treating people. He apologizes to the professor because there is a frog fight. There is a frog fight in her bio class, and this class was
both
actually
live and preserved.
Yeah, it's really gross. That is one thing where Nikki
Dissecting frogs is kind of fun. I enjoyed that.
No. Nikki loses a couple points because she slapped him with a frog.
That's the thing. She did kind of start it.
She
started the frog fight.
No.
But I loved the moment when she slapped him with a frog.
To be fair, she slapped him with a frog and plopped it straight back down.
Yes.
Again. And so he just decided to use that opportunity. It's like, I'm the wolf. I cause trouble. And it was just really stupid.
Yeah.
But so that happened. I love this. There is the workout montage. I do really appreciate the stunt double who is the wolf boxer.
Yeah.
I whoever that is, I like
whoever
that guy.
you are.
We're gonna find you. We're gonna find you, and we're gonna give you a high five. But you know what I loved even more than that? Because you know me, I fast forward the crap that I don't like, and I watch the parts that I do.
Yeah. So which were those parts?
The parts that I fast forward, or the parts that I watched?
Fast forwarded and watched.
Well, okay, so that's just both. Well, here's something that's really important.
No, fast forward. Yeah, actually, I'm more interested in fast forward.
So I don't like musicals. You want to know what's up there and not liking musicals?
What?
I don't like remakes of songs or covers. So when he broke out into "Do You Love Me Now That I Can't Dance," I hated him. I hated that part. But guess what?
song?
But guess what? No, because I love that song.
Yeah.
And it's typically whatever version I hear first is the one that I like.
Yeah.
And so clearly not faux Jason Bateman singing this song. There was a part where he's singing that whole thing, because there has to be a dance sequence, because there was a dance sequence.
I have so many questions on the dancing, but I'm going to let it go.
You're asking me what I fast forwarded.
Yeah.
The part where he has like the interactions with the dean, that's irrelevant. The part where he meets Nikki, I watched that on a loop. The part where he talks to the professor about getting into her class, yes, I watched that. The part where he slowly slides into being a jerk, it's there, and I'll watch it, but not like the big, scenes, the whole, I don't know, just the certain parts of it. But one of the things that I thought was really important, since I hated the singing thing, I would fast forward through it is when the second that he caught the microphone, that's when I hit fast forward. And I would pause it right when he's dancing around like an idiot with all the girls paying attention to him. Nikki would come out, she would look at him, seeing him dancing, waited.
Yeah.
He keeps going. He ignores her. She looks. She stares. She gets irritated. She leaves. I would watch that because it was still part of their arc.
It's part of the Nikki.
It's part of the arc.
And Nikki was the one that you associate, like you kind of put your, like, that's who you felt you were in this movie?
Curly-haired nerd.
Curly-haired nerd?
I mean, if I were to pay attention now, I would strive to be Professor Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
But how else am I going to become Professor Brooks if I'm not the
And
Nikki
she's
first?
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I got to be Nikki first.
You got to be Nikki first. You recognize that. That's very mature of you at this
But I was
age.
also irritated that she was trying to be very sly about how she was paying attention to him when they first met. And he's like, here's this slide. There's nothing on this slide. Helps if you turn it on. She knows what she's doing. Why did that just happen?
Because she was all, like, crushy. That's what I took.
No, of course that's the reason why.
Yeah.
But she's being crushy makes you kind of a goober. It doesn't make you a dumbass.
Apparently in this world it does.
This world needs to rethink its
This
values.
world has a lot of issues.
It has a lot of issues.
So
Sure.
those are the bits that you watched. Like
I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched lots of different parts where he decides my favorite part of the movie,
Okay.
the study montage.
I was just like, oh, that's so weird, because I was totally going to ask you, did you forward through the study montage?
I love the study montage.
Study montage is pretty cool.
And I think it's so funny that there's a stack of books up past his head. I went to college. There are like 2 books for every class. Where did these books come from?
Well, okay, granted, I was a history major, and there were a lot of books for certain classes.
That up to your head study for
one final?
For one semester. For one semester. I mean, I took a few history classes myself. There was like 4 books at the most, and they were the little ones because they were different sections.
That's true.
These were science classes. That looks like that was not an entire major.
That's a lot.
This is a single freshman level science class.
It's a test. It's not a research paper.
It's a final.
It's
it's
not
final.
if it was a research paper, it would make sense that he had a thing like as high as his head. Well, a lot of things about that study montage. They also invoked that horrible, like, oh my God, I remember staying up, all night studying for finals feeling.
But it was also like multiple finals. And the other thing that pissed me off is that he was getting passes in other classes.
Yeah.
And so this was the class he decided that he really did do it. But of course, Professor Brooks wasn't playing ball. She was going to fail him without trying. So if you really think about this, he tried really hard for that one class, but he totally blew off the rest of them.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that.
This timeline makes absolutely no sense in that he got upset. He called his uncle, and they had a very nice heart-to-heart, and his uncle teaches him how to box, which, of course, learning how to box the day before the state championship.
By your uncle, who is obviously not boxed in a very long time.
You know what? I could feel that actor just like, I need to get the hell out of this movie so fast right now. Yeah. Oh, so here's your groceries.
Here's some boxing.
Here's your groceries. Oh yeah. Anytime you call me, you call me.
But call.
Yeah, you call.
So do not come see me, because then I'd have to be on screen.
So he did his thing, and they learned. But the thing is, he's like, well, when is this match? It's tomorrow. Okay, I'm assuming that this scene taking place is at nighttime. So he's like, when is it? It's in the morning. But he goes to see Nikki. He apologizes to her. It's the daytime. They run to the professor, I would like to retake the final. Well, the last time you can do it is tomorrow at noon. Well, I have a boxing match at 3.
At 3.
And I'm like,
but then why were you studying for?
And then the montage of studying starts to happen. So you have this period of time, but you said your match was tomorrow. So when were you talking? Okay, so if he's talking to his uncle and he says it's tomorrow,
did it get rescheduled?
No, I'm guessing that tomorrow didn't mean the next day, but like in the next 24-hour cycle tomorrow.
Could be.
So technically like 2 days from now. But even so, that's not enough time to learn enough. That's not enough time to box. And secondly, this final boxing thing, by the way, pissing me off so badly. Yep. He does nothing but throw haymakers.
True.
And I hated that. I'm just like, he's getting the crap pummeled out of him by a guy. And okay, he is a bully, full and full. Yeah. I don't know what his name is. He is boxing bully number 2. Boxing bully from Teen Wolf 2. Okay. But I'm going to give him a little bit of some slack if he wasn't just 100% pure evil. He's been doing this for a really long time. He's been training. Yeah. He's been doing all of this stuff. And some random guy who happens to have this biological advantage over him.
Exactly. I mean, this is like, are they agree about this in the Olympics?
They put bears in the Olympics to represent.
Not bears, but just like people. I mean, they're trying to make these rules fair for one reason or another, right?
And people try to get
they're talking about talking about transgender people in the Olympics. They're talking about, you seeing like they're just talking about different. They're talking about different.
They're not even following the weight classes.
Yeah,
so.
I know, but it's just like, it's so strange. And also, okay, another thing I don't get is, there is a town in which there's a family of werewolves, but you're supposed to believe that the only reason people don't know about this werewolf family is because they're not from the same town.
Okay. I don't think it has to do with that because as we find out towards the end of it, Professor Brooks gets the dean to lay off on Todd because he threatened to expel him, but she threatens him because it turns out she's a werewolf as well. So protective. I've heard so much about you, Todd. Pause.
I'm
your faculty advisor. Oh, okay. But she did like his science mind.
She's trying to tell him that, he can be... She's a werewolf, and she uses her brain and not her teeth. I
do like the way she would put it. You can't live your life as a wolf, and expect it to solve all your problems.
Yeah.
She just makes the great points, and she doesn't make it about.
Makes sense.
She doesn't make the stupid. I understand, and she doesn't make it about that because it isn't. Because like you say. If you say to your goddaughter or my nieces, honey, I understand. I was there before. It's true. I was there. I was that age, but they don't care.
No.
If I say, I understand I'm a werewolf too, they're just going to be like, why is this not about me anymore?
Yeah.
So I love that she said,
a nerd too.
I like that she says, no, you just don't understand. Well, I would like to try. And she leaves it open for him. And she's such a good character.
I know. She's the only person who actually makes some logical sense in this entire movie.
Which I think is better because he has the Uncle Howard character who is supposed to be helpful. But let's be honest, sometimes you need people who aren't your family to help you.
Yeah, I think it's hard to hear, especially you got people who grow up and they kind of embarrass you a little bit. Yeah. No, this is another
point of how he's such an ass.
Yeah.
Uncle Howard, can you not do that? No, it's just, well, yeah, but I'm not one of them. It skips a generation. I'm not one of them.
He says it's the family problem.
I'm still trying to figure that out though, because apparently it skipped his mom and it skipped his dad. Yeah. But is it his sister?
That's
his brother?
Yeah, the genetics of this do not. I need a map, because I didn't see Teen Wolf, so I don't know. Maybe this is all explained.
Well, no, it wasn't. No. But apparently both Scott's mom and dad were... Actually, I don't know if his mom was a wolf. I don't know, but she's not in the movie. It doesn't matter.
Also, what happened to his parents? Why isn't his parents taking him to college?
I was actually thinking that. He's in the state championships. Where the hell are his parents?
Yeah.
Are they too busy living it up as non-wolves?
Yeah. Are they like, oh my God, we get to be non-wolves. We don't even... Maybe...
I wrote this down, actually. You know what it made me think of?
What?
Harry Potter and the Dursleys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was that sort of situation where they're like...
His parents are muggles.
And also, but at this point, they don't know that he's that. So why don't they take him to college? Like, what kind of weird relationship does he have? And he doesn't seem that bothered. He does not like talking about this estranged relationship they had. And I actually, when I rewatched the beginning, because I wanted to find out, like, have they passed away in a tragic accident together? Like, did they die holding hands in a plane crash?
While wolves?
No, they're not wolves. They were eaten by wolves.
No wonder he's so angry about it.
He's so angry.
No, that's not what it is. I'm going to assume that they are like 4 or 5 states over.
I need to stop applying my logical mind to these questions and start applying it to something useful, like whether or not I'm Team Peter or Team Gail.
Well, it's PETA, not Peter.
I said PETA.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm definitely said PETA.
But question.
Yes.
You said you had questions.
Those are all I think I got all my questions out. But I have more questions for you.
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. Because
okay, so
let's be honest, this podcast is about relationships in movies.
Yes. And our relationships with them.
I think we covered my relationship with them.
You think so?
No, I think we covered the fact that what the hell? What's wrong with me?
I really love that. I love how like outraged you were about this movie the second time you watched it. Okay, can I ask? So
I still love them.
When was the last time that you watched this before you watched it for this podcast?
I would say it's been over a decade.
Okay. So when you watched it
It was recorded off of Comedy Central. I remember where the pause breaks were for the commercials. There was this one part where she kisses him for the first time.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks down and he bites his lip and he smiles at her. And then bam, commercial break. I'm like, oh, they're so cute together.
They are really cute together.
She likes what she sees and she goes for it. And she likes it beyond that. She doesn't want his popularity. She kind of hated his popularity. Yeah. And just,
well, because it was like creepy him.
Yeah. But and he wasn't creepy when they first got. You notice that he could be science nerdy, a little bit awkward, but at the same time he can let his intelligence speak.
But he was creepy in that first scene where he sees the girl.
He's definitely creepy when he sees the
like
blonde.
the first time that he sees the blonde.
No, well, again, I can make allowances for I don't know how to deal with someone who is more attractive than me.
Yeah. Maybe.
So no,
or that kind of attractive.
Well, also he does react really, really badly when they're going for the same book in the library.
Yeah, he does. He has a total.
Yeah, he has a thing.
He does explain why. He is very stressed out.
She called him a jock. She called him dumb, basically.
Yeah, the minute she found out, she was like, "I'm out."
Sports go. Oh, and how teenager is that, by the way?
Oh my god, I know that you're only allowed to be like a jock and like you can't play sports and like be smart.
Well, that didn't happen until
the
1997. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's why. Yeah. See, I carried this around with me forever, so I don't know why I'm asking this. I was totally like, I don't want to play sports because then they'll be one of the jocks.
Oh, I didn't want to play sports.
I'm also terrible at it.
I didn't want to exert effort.
Yeah, I'm just terrible at it.
Sports. I love sports.
Okay, so that was so. What was it about? So when you rewatched it, one.
Yep.
How did you like? What was your reaction? Like, what did you think of, little, because you were like 13, 14 when you watched this?
There.
Like,
yeah. And then
what did you think of, how did you feel toward 13, 14-year-old Diana?
No, it perfectly makes sense because a lot of these movies don't hold up. This movie is a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I laughed my ass off when I read that. I'm like, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I'd give it a thumbs down if I was one of those certified critics. Even though I watched it, you do that. You watch a movie that you don't necessarily think is good, but it has a connection to you in one way. This particular movie, it has the ups and downs of that beginnings of relationships. And I adore that so freaking much.
The beginning.
Nerdy guy who, let's be honest, he's a nerdy, but he is good looking. He's not chiseled. He's not, jock, macho. Oh my God, he's attractive science guy. I love that.
I do too.
And I think I was on that particular bandwagon early when it came to my husband. I knew he was kind of a sciencey guy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hello, potential, for, just making a good living. I mean, before the big tech booms and all that other stuff. Got to lock that tech money nerd down.
You got to lock him down early.
And the money will come. I mean, I'm putting my investment money in early, and right about when it's time for us to hit our 70s, I'll cash it in.
There you go.
Yeah. Get on that.
It's good to have a plan.
It's not a good plan.
It's better than my retirement plans.
Fortunately, I love him, so that was just plan B.
Yeah. My father always said it was just as easy to marry a rich man as a poor man.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
What?
I didn't say he was right. Just one of the random things my father said. My father also used to threaten me with the phrase, "I'll show you where the crawfish hibernate." So, there's some logic. Wait, I love you, Dad.
Are you sure he wasn't just confusing and he wanted to talk about Fiddler on the Roof and he started with "If I Was a Rich Man"?
He didn't like Fiddler on the Roof, so I know that.
It's just as easy to marry a rich guy.
I think his theory is...
It's not a vending machine.
It's like a vending machine. Maybe to him it is. I don't know.
Marriage is not a vending machine.
Marriage is not a vending machine. Plus, you never know a long term. I mean, it could be like, it was great once. I mean...
Well, let me put it to you this way.
There are booms and busts in tech.
Booms and busts. Booms and busts.
Did I just say... I think I said something.
Booms and bucks does work too.
I think I said butts, but I'm not sure. Anyway.
Yes.
Okay, back to it.
Booms and busts exist in tech, but if someone had told you, 10 years ago that a lot of millionaires would be popping up because of legalized weed, it's amazing where people can find their little niche or their.
You're right. I would have
make
thought, he's a pot dealer. I wasn't going to be like, one day though, this man is going to own the apothecarium and make millions.
I didn't realize we were going to have programmers now. And that's just so irritating that you got jock assholes who happen to be really smart.
It's even more irritating when you have to work with them.
Sorry.
Anyway. Okay, so back to 13-year-old you. So when you were watching it, though, I mean, there's the, this is not a great film, but then there's the, like, wow.
13-year-old me is watching this not a great film? Or
no, like...
I'm reflecting on 13-year-old
Yeah, you're reflecting on 13-year-old. You're like, not a great film, but did you feel, like, you still... It sounds like you still feel like...
Oh, it does.
Hey... No, but you like looking, you're like, oh, I see what you, like, the sweet part that you found in this movie. It's still there. Like, it doesn't seem as problematic.
Oh, no. See, this is no watching Revenge of the Nerds type of thing with the, okay, never mind. This movie, he's a jerk. She calls him out on it. He's a jerk. He apologizes for being a jerk. And then when the time comes...
And he knows he understands the way he's been a jerk.
And he understands the way he's being a jerk. He apologizes. She tries to help him. He is able to be not like successful. I think it's so irritating that he probably got a C in that science class, but he wins the championship. So the thing where he was strongest, he probably just barely passed the class, but he got to have the All Valley thing. Honestly, I think it would have been really good if he lost. Because,
it frees him, too, from this weird world.
Yeah, this weird, I don't understand boxing scholarship world.
Yeah.
And I still maintain...
I got a sports scholarship, but I don't actually know what sport.
I don't like the message of, if you cram all night... you still get to win.
Yeah.
At least the school version of that was he crammed all night, he squeaked by, but now he has the opportunity to raise his GPA.
Yeah, because she said you were going to pass. She didn't say you got an A+.
Oh, God, no. There's no way in hell I got an A+. It is the thing of nightmares that I still have, that I'm in some sort of science class. I realize that I've missed all of these assignments.
Yeah, me too.
If I scrape by and if I work my ass off, maybe I can fly through the final and get a D in the class.
Yeah.
Those are my nightmares.
Oh,
and it's
totally.
always some sort of like biology science class.
I actually found the study montage incredibly anxiety producing because it reminded me of, like, oh my God, I have to learn I remember this, I had to learn like all the stuff that happened around the War of the Roses, and I didn't really prepare. I was going through kind of a hard time, and this wasn't even a final, and I was like still the War of the Roses whenever it angers me that my husband remembers all, like, actually can give you a chronology of that friggin' war, and I cannot. Oh, it makes me very angry.
For the record, I am unfamiliar with this particular thing. So
it's okay, it doesn't matter. It is a war happening in England.
We're not talking
important.
about the Michael Douglas Kathleen.
No, we're not. No, that would be a fun movie to watch.
Well, I've never seen it. So questions for you.
Questions for me.
So
is it time?
This was like, when did they fall in love? Well, they said it to each other. And honestly, Jason Bateman, oh, I'm sorry for hurting someone that I really love. Yeah. And he did that lip bite thing again, which I think, oh, so sweet. But I'm just like, I don't think you loved her. I think you just really, really like her. And that's okay. Because she also does the I love you thing. Oh, here's the other thing, by the way. When he gets knocked down again in the ring in the final match, you have this wonderful tender moment where everyone's like, get up. And they're like, oh my God, he has to wolf out because, he's so angry and it's going to happen. And then all of a sudden you see her mouth, I love you. And my first thought was, there's no way in hell that's supposed to be his thing. That's supposed to get him up and get back into the thing and win the game, win the match, win the hell, whatever the fuck this is. And I'm just thinking that is the stupidest thing ever because there's no way in hell he can see her in the stands. But then I realized it's the wolf hearing. He can hear her say it.
Oh my
he can
God.
hear her whispering it. Oh, I love you.
That is fine. Thank you. Okay, my mind is now at ease because my mind was holding on to this puzzle. Also, why can they all see his eyes? Like, they're really far away and they all react the first time his eyes go red.
They're red. The red glows.
Yeah, good point. Okay, see, thank you. You put my mind at ease.
Yes. Teen Wolf 2. Excellent movie.
So you think that they fell in love around the same time, or they didn't quite fall in love around the same time?
I don't think they fell in love. I think they late teenager love. And if this was a semester, maybe, but like high tension stuff like that. I just think they just decided to be together.
Yeah.
And it's not so much a love thing, but again, it's like the beginnings of a relationship. It's really sweet. They're together. He wins the thing, that they're really excited. They get to stay together. What do I it's there. It's the beginning, the buds of a relationship. It really just came together at the end of the movie.
But do you think that they like fell in love or whatever around the same time or separate times?
I think they're going to fall in love together.
Eventually.
Like, I think it's abundantly clear that the montage is when they fall in love, Paulina. Did you
I
not
totally
hear
disagree.
Send Me an Angel, which is clearly talking about Nikki.
Okay, like as somebody who like, I think I went to a high school dance around this time, and Send Me an Angel was probably one of these songs I awkwardly danced, 4 feet away from some nerdy boy with. If I was lucky, though I don't think I was. I was like, I kept taking me the longest time. I was like, what does this song have to do with anything?
She's the angel.
And then finally I'm like, Send Me an Angel. Oh, of course.
No. You said it wrong. It's Send Me an Angel.
Right now. Right now. All right, sorry.
We're sorry. Except I'm not.
Sorry. You're not sorry.
So cheesy, so
Right
80s.
now.
I will listen to that song right now.
Right now.
I'm sorry. Again.
All right, we're so sorry. For all those new 2 pods a day people, this is
No, this is about right.
yeah, this is about right. Who are we to lie? Okay,
and
so
to
do you
answer
think
your next question,
yes,
they're gonna biology it up together. Don't take that the wrong way. Don't look at me like you took that the wrong way. He's gonna finish up. I don't think he's gonna become a veterinarian. I think he's gonna be too fascinated with his own biology. It's gonna be, oh my god. I think originally when I wrote
wow, you really have been speaking of using the word science-y, like you're definitely hitting the biology
I was
word.
trying to remember the first thing that I thought about. I'm like, here's what's going to happen. They're going to stay together. She's going to get her degree. She's going to marry him, and then she's going to dissect him. Because it's too interesting.
It's too interesting.
No, I don't think it's going to be that way, but I do think that she is going to be doing like a did you ever watch Frasier?
Yes.
I think it's going to be one of those situations where she's going to do the biology thing. She's going to, well, they were psychology, but her version of that is going to be biology, where she's going to have the 2 kids and they're going to be all stuffy and like Frasier's and Niles Cranes, and they're not going to become wolves, but she's going to be like, she's going to be like the Marty of that particular thing. Cause like your dad was this and we studied biology and you 2 are really smart, but please understand where you come from. I don't know where that was, but for some reason,
so you think they're going to
I think they're going to
survive college and get married?
Well, yeah, I have high hopes of people who meet in the very beginnings of college and stay together. I have hopes for it, but it's not going to work for everyone. But I think they have similar temperaments, especially with the wolf thing, because she could be fiery on her own. What's great is that he is kind of unstable, but as he gets older and matures, he's going to, get a lot better at it. And the thing is, she saw it early. So whatever crap that may happen down the line, I think she's going to be okay with it, and he's going to mature. So together, they're going to do really well together. Wow. Similar interests, similar temperaments. I think they're going to have a really good thing. I think they're going to have 2 boys. I think they're going to be stuffy Frasier and Niles Crane-esque, where they're going to be fascinated with all the science stuff, but then just kind of turn their back on the wolf stuff.
Wow. Okay. So this is my theory is, so first, I don't think they fall in love at the same time.
Duh.
I think
girls are so much more mature than Paulina.
Yes,
girls are so much more mature than boys, Paulina.
Girls are probably also more mature than me. So I think that hers was a total crush at first sight thing. I agree that they're not in love.
Oh, he's pretty.
He's super pretty. And he also, there's something really sweet and charming about him. And, he's freaking Jason Bateman. I don't blame her. I think it took him a little bit longer. And I think a lot of it is that, he sees that everyone else is trying to exploit his wolfiness. And I think I think some of it is when she brings him. I think, he realizes... She understands him sort of around when she brings him a picnic
brings
with the fried chicken.
That's how is this not me? How is this girl not me?
I think she's you.
I want a stash of fried chicken.
I was totally like, I was watching it last night going, fried chicken.
So yummy.
So she's, and I really, really, she is in, a not great movie, actually, feels like a real person, and she doesn't piss me off as much as like most of the,
she's not
love
shrill.
interests. She's neither, she's the perfect amount of like, I do things for myself and in my own way, and also like kind of empathetic. So I don't know. I just really like her. So, but I don't think that they end up together. I think here's where it's going to get awkward.
When does it stop?
I think they're going to date maybe through college. And
then she dumps him for Kiefer Sutherland and The Lost Boys. Hint.
Stay tuned.
Hint.
Stay tuned next week and find out.
Go on.
So I think what she's going to do is they're going to stay together through college. It's going to be one of those like because they have interest. I don't think I'm with you, not going to become a veterinarian.
No, he's not.
I think what's going to happen is they are both going to become interested in different aspects of research. Okay. This is my theory, is that they're going to become fascinated with different aspects of like, I don't know the correct science word for this, but like
crustacean.
Not crustacean. They're basically going to become really interested in basically the form change thing, and in different ways. I have a feeling what it's going to happen to him is he's actually going to become a professor of science.
All right.
Maybe at Hamilton, actually. But what's going to separate them, because by then the dean of men, at some point they're going to realize having a dean of men running the whole joint with a scary attack dog.
I love that dog.
I love all dogs.
If you pay attention, he's just panting the whole time. He's not angry.
No, that's not true. Like they have there's always where he barks the entire meeting.
No, he's panting through it. It's just like he's the growling.
No, there's one where he growls and barks during the whole
There
thing.
is one section where he's barking at him, but the rest those are AD effects, because he's like
but then you hear like
no, he's so smiley.
Anyway.
Yep. Totally important.
Very important that we discuss the dog in this.
So he's going to be a professor at Hamilton.
So he's going to be a professor. He might be a professor somewhere else. Who knows? Okay. But basically what's going to happen is they're going to stay together through college. It's going to be a very amicable, sweet relationship where they're both going to be into, but she's going to stay a research scientist. And then basically in graduate school, I think they're going to separate because so either in graduate school, but what's going to become either in graduate school or after, like maybe their postdoc or whatever, because basically she's going to have to go abroad. They're going to have to separate for this, and they're going to meet other people, and they're going to, and at some point they're going to realize, because he's a professor, they're both jobs that are very geographically specific, because there's not going to be that many places that study this crazy
crustaceans.
This crazy transformation from one animal to another. There's not going to be that many institutes, and they're probably, let's face it, they're going to be in Europe, not going to be in the U.S. And so I think that's going to drive him apart, and I think he's going to want to stay a professor. And I think what's going to be really awkward is I think she's going to cheat on him while she's away at this place. She's going to meet some other really, really brilliant man, and their relationship might be a bit stale. She's going to meet this brilliant man, and he's going to be really hurt by this. But the fact is, she has to stay studying his family. So after they break up, they're going to have to, and of course his family is going to love her if we ever find his parents, I mean.
I think Uncle Howard already does like her a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, who knows about his parents? And I think so then it's going to be really, really hard for him, because he's going to have to run into her all the time because she's doing research, and he does really want to understand, but I think it's it's a little too close for him to have to study it.
So he has to be part of the research, but he's not going to be in it.
No, and I think he's going to become a professor because he does really genuinely seem to like, he is more of an extrovert, I think. He really does genuinely like people. And he really does want to learn. And I think he's going to be one of those he's going to be a great teacher, and he's going to have Miss Brooks guiding him along. So yeah, that's how I feel.
That's good. All right. Well, I think that is it for Teen Wolf 2.
It is, hopefully.
Thank you so much for bearing with us as we get through this. You can follow us on Twitter at HEAMCast. On our Facebook, we are at Happily Ever Aftermath. You can rate and review us on iTunes.
Yes, please do. We love to hear from
any
people.
Feedback, you can reach us at contact@heamcast.com. Now, as for our next episode, for those of you who like to watch before you listen.
Yes, we are going to be doing...
You decided. This was your choice.
Sorry. Teen Wolf 2 is your choice. So we're going to watch The Lost Boys.
Apparently
it's not Lost Boys, right? I'm getting this correct.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys. We're going to watch The Lost Boys, a movie I watched so often when I was a teenager.
There it is. And make sure that when you get it, don't accidentally get one of the 2 sequels.
Yes, please don't. Please don't. And I won't say, if you just don't feel like watching it, go find the soundtrack, because it's still a good soundtrack, weirdly enough.
Okay.
So anyway, The Lost Boys is next. Teen Wolf 2.
Thumbs down. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, no one's gonna pretend, but there are definitely some charm. We squeezed as much charm as we could.
Thumbs up to Nikki. She's cool.
Love Nikki.
All right.
Team Nikki.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.